Jordan, here we come. To say I was excited is an understatement, as this was my very first creators trip that I was chosen to go on, and it was international. And I was going to be spending the next 10 days in the Middle East exploring the beautiful country of Jordan. So, yes, super excited, and I cannot wait to share the rest of this video with you. But let's talk from beginning to end. We started off our trip by riding on Royal Jordanian Airlines, and it was a pretty comfortable accommodation. Our flight was about 11 hours or so. So we were served dinner, drinks, breakfast, and I want to say we had a lunch as well. I'm not sure, I don't remember. But when we landed, we were in Amman, Jordan, the capital city of Jordan, and we landed at Queen Alia International Airport. After we went through customs and got our bags, we met up with our tour guide, Wadi, who would be with us for the remainder of the tour. And he was such a delight, and he met us on our bus and took us to our first hotel.
I will remind you with my name. It is Mahdi, M-A-H-D-I.
Mahdi.
If it is hard for you to pronounce it with the H, drop the H and call me Mahdi.
Mahdi.
We are driving.
The W Amman would be our hotel for the next 3 days, and it was a beautiful, absolutely beautiful hotel. I really enjoyed my room. It was very spacious. It had a great view of the city and everything that you needed to be comfortable. Of course, we were all pretty pooped after an 11-hour flight, but never too tired to enjoy dinner. So after dropping off our bags and freshening up a bit, we all met downstairs to head to dinner at Falkrelden restaurant. This beautiful restaurant was originally built and owned by one of the prime ministers of Jordan, and it was designed and constructed during the mid-20th century. Over the years, it's been home to several prominent dignitaries, and this was the first taste that we got of how we would be treated every time we dined in Jordan. The Jordanian people love to feed you. One thing you won't be is hungry while in Jordan. And little tidbit, ask for a lemon mint. Those drinks are delicious. The next morning, I did a little more exploring of the hotel, and I absolutely love the entrance. It resembles the Sikh, which is what we're going to be seeing when we get to Petra, and it just got me really excited. I headed to breakfast, and then later on, we headed into the city for an underground Amman art tour. Hey guys, so I'm in Amman, Jordan, and we are on our first official day. I say official because it's the first day, our first full day, and we're starting it off with an underground Amman tour, and it's been really great so far. So this tour was pretty cool because we were able to walk the historic streets of Amman while checking out the street art and listening to personal stories of members of the local hip-hop community, like Aladdin.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Aladdin. I'm the Underground Amman Tour founder.
Yay! A lot of the street art in Amman represents social and political views, and something that was really interesting is that 70% of the artists are women. And I also learned and found very interesting that any painting or paraphernalia with watermelons represented the solidarity that Jordan has with Palestine because it mimics the colors that are found on the Palestinian flag. Another interesting observation was that there are cats everywhere, but I digress. Did you know that Arabic is the language of love? I also found out that there are 12.3 million words in the Arabic language. So to give you reference, the English language only has about 600,000. I really love this mural. It's called Unity and Diversity, painted in 2018, and it just represents how Jordan is such a welcoming country to both visitors and refugees alike. Our walking tour ended at the Jasmine House, and lunch was unforgettable. It's also an art gallery. We got to do an olive oil tasting with Maida, and we learned how to do Arabic calligraphy with Hussein Al-Azad, who has a distinct honor of creating the designs for the currency in Jordan. After lunch, we explored our first archaeological site, the Amman Citadel. And this site spans several empires, and it has beautiful views of the Amman Hills, and it comprises about 1,700-meter wall that dates back to the Bronze Age. And if you notice, all of the homes are pretty much the same color. The buildings are all the same color. And I found out that it's actually illegal to paint any building in this area a different color than limestone. You can also see here a view of the Roman Theater, which is still in use today for events, concerts, and performances. After the Citadel, we headed back to our hotel for a little breather, and then we met up again for a wine-paired dinner at JR Wine Experience. Now, this is one of only 2 wineries in Jordan, and it's owned by the Haddad family. Dinner was great. You know I love me a wine-paired meal. The sommelier was very knowledgeable. It was a good time. Afterwards, we hit the town for a little night out, and it was so much fun, and it was a great ending to our first official day in Jordan. The next morning, we headed out to Jerash, and Jerash is the largest preserved city of ruins in the world, even more so than those that we've seen in Rome, and I thought that was pretty cool. So it lies on a plain surrounded by hills, fertile basin, and it came under Roman rule in 63 BC, and they still had a Decapolis League. And something interesting that I learned is that bagpipes became popular in Jordan mostly due to them being introduced to the Jordanian military by the British military. All right, y'all, so I just finished doing a 2-hour tour around Jerash, that's how you say it, which is, they said it's the largest city of ruins in the world, which I did not know. I asked the guy, I said, well, what about the Colosseum? Because the Colosseum is pretty large. He said he meant the entire city is ruins. So yeah, interesting fact that I learned. And it is hot, so I'm walking back to the bus. After Jerash, we headed to Darnima. This is a nonprofit institution for women. It empowers women to pursue their passions and achieve economic independence. And they do this by creating crafts and serving dishes. We had an absolutely amazing lunch. And then afterwards, we helped paint bags. And then we did a little shopping for some souvenirs before heading off to Ajlan Castle. So as someone who decided to go on a 1.5-week-long trip to a country I never really had on my radar, one of the things that I found interesting was that Jordan is a kingdom. And with that being said, we visited Ajlan Castle after our lunch at Darnima before heading back to our hotel. And this castle was built in 1184 AD, and it was definitely very important for gaining control to counter the progress of crusaders. So on the way to my most anticipated destination, Petra, we made several stops, with the first being at Mount Nebo. So according to the Bible, this is where Moses was shown the promised land, and some say that this is also where he is buried. So it was amazing to see so much of what I've read in the Bible right before my eyes. From there, we traveled to Madaba, where we did a mosaics tile workshop and learned the significance of mosaics in the city. Madaba is known as the city of mosaics, and historically it's been known to depict scenes of daily living and has been used as a visual record of regions in the Byzantine past. And at this location, they also have a program that provides employment to the locals, and those locals get to preserve the art form of mosaic making. And all of the artwork was absolutely gorgeous, and we got to see them in action. And then we got to shop if we wanted afterwards. And if I've never mentioned this before, one thing that I really loved about Jordan is how they greet you with some type of warm, delicious drink the first time you go into an establishment. And that just speaks highly on the hospitable nature of the Jordanians. Later, we stopped at St. George Church, which features a beautiful 6th century Byzantine mosaic map. And this is the oldest preserved mosaic map of the region, showing Jerusalem and several other holy sites. Lunch at the Carib House was such a wonderful dining experience. The food was magnificent. We were served family style. And this is a farm-to-table community cafe with a cultural space located in Madaba. And we had so much good food. My favorite was the chicken shawarma, and the lamb was also really good. Honestly, you can't go wrong with any dish that they had here. I'm here with Ibrahim. Say hello. He is the manager here at Movenpick, and this is such a beautiful hotel. It's so ornate. And Ibrahim's so nice. So before heading to Jordan, I was most excited about seeing Petra, so being able to get a sneak peek of the treasury by night had me over the moon. I would recommend wearing sneakers if you decide to do Petra by night or by day, because there's quite a trek before you get to the main attraction, and if you do it at night, it's dark and you don't want to trip and fall. It was really dark, y'all. We couldn't see anything, but the trail is lit up by lamps, and there's cats that want to join in. They play some music, and then that's it. So definitely excited to go back in the morning. Alright guys, so here is the moment we've been waiting for. I am in Petra. I got up extra early this morning to come out. Last night we came to the Petra by night and could not see a thing, but now that there's daylight, it is absolutely gorgeous, and we haven't even gotten to the main attraction yet, but it is coming up very soon. Seeing the treasury with my own eyes is something I was looking forward to from the moment I found out I'd be traveling to Jordan. So if you've ever seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, you may recognize the treasury. So a group of us woke up extra early to walk the long seek ahead of the crowd, and I'm so happy we did that. So after about 20 minutes or so, we hit that curb and we saw the magical reveal of the treasury. So getting there a little earlier allowed us to get pictures and videos without having to worry about too many strangers in the background. And I recommend doing that. And if you didn't know, the treasury in Petra is one of the new world wonders of the world, one of the 7. You also have the option to walk a little further to check out the monastery, but I was good with just seeing the treasury because it was quite the hike. The trip from this point on just kept getting better and better. To get to lunch, we had to hike a little bit up the Petra Canyon, and while doing that, we ran into a Bedouin woman who offered us hot tea in her tent, and that was so sweet of her, and it was really good. And it was a little chilly, so that tea actually helped warm us up a little bit. Later on that evening, we did a cooking class with Petra Kitchen, and y'all know my little foodie heart was content. We made traditional items like baba ganoush, tabbouleh, swani dejaj, one of my new favorites, the arayas, and we made some new friends while we were there, and we got to cook and have the dinner together, and it was the perfect activity to close out our time in Petra, and I can definitely see myself recreating these dishes at home. Good morning. So we are getting ready to leave Petra and we're heading to Wadi Rum. I just had to run up to the place where we made dinner last night because I left my bracelets in the pocket of my apron. Luckily they still had them and I was able to get them, but I have to go grab some breakfast really quick and then we're heading out in about 15 minutes. Notably, the group favorite, Wadi Rum, came with lots of anticipation, and for very good reason. From Petra, our ride was about an hour and 45 minutes, and from the moment we arrived, it was adventure. So we made it to Wadi Rum, and we are going to be staying in these bubble tents. And I am still very much in awe of this entire experience. What? So I'm walking back to the reception area now. Our rooms aren't ready yet, and we're going on a 4x4 Jeep tour around the desert. So by the time we're done with that and lunch, we should be ready to get into our tents. Yee, so exciting! I also need somebody to help me put on this, because when in Rome, we started our desert experience with an exhilarating 4x4 Jeep ride through the Wadi Rum desert to our lunch. Once we got there, we hiked up a sand dune to discover our beautiful picnic spread. We enjoyed so many delicious things, especially the makluba. This is an impressive upside down rice that's filled with all sorts of meat and veggies. It was absolutely incredible. We also sat around and discussed the things that we were grateful for. For me, just grateful for being in the middle of Wadi Rum Desert in that very moment, having lunch with fellow content creators. What a dream. What an absolute dream. So after lunch, we did some more riding around in the desert. We stopped for photo ops, and we stopped to look at some ancient graffiti on the walls. And then after taking a few moments to admire that, we were trying to get to see the sunset. We were trying to get to a location before seeing the sunset, but we did have a moment to experience a little tea with the Bedouins in their tent. And then we did some shopping, and then we went and watched the sunset, and it was absolutely beautiful. After sunset, we headed back to the hotel where I tried some shisha for the first time, and it was cool. And then we had dinner, and then all of us sat around the fire, enjoyed some wine before a little stargazing, and then bed, because we had an early morning the next morning. Hey guys, good morning. So it is 6 a.m. Can't see me because it's dark, obviously. But we're getting ready to do a sunrise hot air balloon ride. And it's freezing, but this should be beautiful. I can't wait. It's right over there. Deflated.
We are doing now. Your pilot is calling your name, and please answer saying yes or I'm here.
Fine light in the beautiful sea. I choose to be happy. You and I, we're like diamonds in the sky. You're a shooting star, I see a vision of ecstasy. When you hold me, I'm alive. We're like diamonds in the sky. I thought that we the energy of sun rays, and I saw the light inside of your. So fine line in the beautiful sea, I choose to be happy. Fine line in a beautiful sea, I choose to be happy, yeah. Sing three parts, sing fine line in a beautiful sea, yeah. Fine line in a beautiful sea, I choose to be happy. Yeah. Sing fine line in the beautiful sea. Fine line in the beautiful sea, I choose to be happy. I choose to be happy, yeah. Fine line in the beautiful sea, I choose to be happy, yeah.
After the hot air balloon ride, which was absolutely beautiful, we went back to our hotel. We had a little downtime before it was time to leave Wadi Rum and head to Aqaba. And so now I went back to my room. I was able to just sit and relax and enjoy coffee. And our rooms and our bubble tents were very accommodating. They had everything that you needed to be comfortable, including a sofa where you can sit and look out at the desert. It was perfect, and I enjoyed it immensely. Y'all, they had a Popeyes in Jordan, and from what I heard, it was really good. I didn't get any, but some of the people that were on my trip did, and they said it was so bomb. But anyways, we went to Aqaba next, and we stayed in the most glorious hotel, the Kempinski. This room was so nice and luxe, and the hotel is gorgeous. I will be doing a separate video for the hotel by itself. But from my patio, you can see 3 countries in one. And then later on that day, we went for a boat ride. So we went on a boat ride down the Red Sea, and it was just a time to relax. We had been on our feet for the past few days, and now it was just time to let our hair down, do a little snorkeling, and we enjoyed some food that was cooked fresh for us on deck, and we danced and we fellowshipped, and it was just a good time. The next morning, we enjoyed a delicious breakfast before heading out to the last leg of our trip, which was the Dead Sea in the Jordan Valley. I was really sad to say goodbye to the Kempinski because it was such a nice hotel, but I was really eager to get to the Dead Sea and do my float as well. The science teacher in me was geeking out on the way to the Dead Sea Hotel. Here's a mini lesson. So the Dead Sea is the lowest point on Earth. It is 10 times saltier than the ocean, and because of that, it is nearly impossible to sink. And because of the high salinity, it's almost impossible for anything to survive in the Dead Sea, except for some bacteria and some microbial fungi. As you can see, the Marriott at the Dead Sea was another beautiful hotel. So once we checked in, we had a little free time to ourselves. And so a couple of girls and myself decided that we were going to catch a private ride to the Dead Sea Salt Beach because we really wanted to see the salt formations. And the salt formations couldn't be viewed from the part of the Dead Sea that was attached to our hotel. And the salt formations were beautiful as we expected them to be, but just a couple of tips. Definitely wear shoes because they hurt real bad if you step on them with your bare feet. Also, it wouldn't be recommended to get in the water there because it's super rough. And I do recommend going at sunset because it painted the sky beautifully. I'm so happy that we decided to do this. On our last full day in Jordan, we went to Bethany beyond the Jordan. So here is where it's believed that Jesus was baptized. It features Roman and Byzantine remains, including churches, chapels, and a monastery. It can also be accessed from the Jordan and Israel side. And there's a very shallow Jordan River separating the two. Dipping my hands in the Jordan River felt like a culmination of my trip, and I was just in awe the entire 11 days that we were there.
Yahweh, you are everything to me, oh, to me. Yahweh, you are everything to me, oh, to me. Love the way you teach me, love the way you listen. You know all my details, every imperfection. Find me in the secret place, wrapped up in your warm embrace. Demons gotta give me space. How many times out in the world did I make a habit of running away from all of my pain and praying it vanished? Oh, how you left the 99 for me. Yahweh, you are everything to me.
Hey guys, so I am getting ready to go and float in the Dead Sea. Last night, me and a couple of the girls, we went to see the salt formations. But today we're gonna be able to float from the part of the Dead Sea that's accessible to the hotel that we're staying in. So I'm really looking forward to that. It should be fun. And this is the last day of our Jordan press trip. I'm so sad that it's coming to a close. We did so many amazing things, but gotta get back home and get back to work. But yes, definitely come to Jordan. Later that evening, we had our farewell dinner, and it was bittersweet having to say goodbye to the people we were with for the last week and a half and saying goodbye to Jordan. It was absolutely amazing. I can't thank the Black Travel Alliance and the Visit Jordan Tourism Board enough for extending this incredible opportunity to me Jordan is definitely a travel destination I never knew I needed. Thank you, Maddie.
You are welcome. It was my pleasure to have you here in Jordan. And as I promised you on the previous video that you will have a journey in Jordan, you will never forget.
There was so much to do, so much to experience, and if you're a wanderer, I highly recommend adding it to your list of places to visit. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and if you want to read all about my trip, you can on my blog, highheelsandgoodmeals.com.